Okay, Christina here to listen to some music. And today's music selection is 25 or 6 to 4 by Chicago. So I really don't know anything about this band. I've always heard of the band Chicago. I've heard of the city of Chicago. The only thing that I really do know is Peter Cetera was a member of the band, I believe one of the singers, and he did The Glory of Love for The Karate Kid Part 2, and I have loved that song since I was a kid. And so there, that shows you the limit to my knowledge of this band, because I don't think that has anything to do with this band, except for just Peter Cetera. It was the winner of a poll on Patreon and for channel members. I put the call out there. I was like, okay, everyone, tell me what songs of Chicago I should react to on the channel. And they gave me a great list. And this is the one that came in first. So here we are, the first Chicago on the channel. And I'm excited. I still don't know what the song's about. All these numbers, 25 or 25 or 6 to 4. Are those working hours like 9 to 5? We'll find out. And so what are we also finding out here? What are we doing here exactly? For those of you still getting to know me, I am a professional classically trained musician, vocalist, instrumentalist, composer, and professor. So we talk about all the different aspects of the music that we can. I learn a little something. Hopefully so do all of you. We have a great time. And this one I've been really looking forward to. Again, I've always heard of the band, just don't really know much. So enough talking. Let's listen. All right, let's dive in.
Waiting for the break of day, searching for something to say, flashing lights against the sky, giving up, I close my eyes, sitting cross-legged on the floor. 25 or 6 to 4. Staring blindly into space, getting up to splash my face, wanting just to stay away, wondering how much I can take. Should I try to do some more? 25 or 6 to 4. Yeah.
All right. Don't get mad. I stopped it in the middle. I'm going to go back and listen to this middle section again. This is such a great solo. I'm too busy thinking about all the other elements right now, so allow me to discuss those. Go back and listen to this center part again. Okay, I gotta check the lyrics. What the heck does this mean? I'm still not sure. Okay, searching for something to say. Giving up, I close my eyes. Well, that's interesting. So someone's sitting on the floor? Someone trying to stay awake. Oh, waiting for the break of day. But they're searching for something to say? Who are they saying it to? Okay, so it's the middle of the night. They're sitting on the floor trying to stay awake. Okay. Wondering how much I can take. Should I try to do some more? Is this about substance abuse? I don't know. Or is it about like feelings and like in a relationship, how much more you can take? I'm not sure. Okay, well, I'm going to think on it a little bit more and we're going to get back to this. So I'm going to back it up a little bit. But first, I just want to say, before we dive into the solo that was amazing, it was like a series of solos. I hear Peter Cetera. I definitely recognize his voice. Like a couple lines in, I was like, oh, definitely recognize his voice. Brass, hello, brass chorus. That was awesome. And the driving drum beat, and of course, all this guitar work that we're going to go back and catch again. So many different sounds, but we'll dive in a little bit more. Let's finish this out. I'm going to back it up just a bit, like I said, and here we go. Catch these guitars. All right, I'm going to stop it again. Sorry. We're in the brass section solo. I know. I'm going to go back and listen to that as well. But I got to say, the guitars just talk to you. There's a lot of instrumental section here, and I love it. I mean, the vocals are important. And so when a song can stand securely on a large instrumental section, I really respect that. And I think this definitely has a solid foundation. It stands on its own, just like this. This is great. Okay, the guitar. Wow. The tone, the timbre of the guitar itself is a little bit unique. I mean, I've heard many guitars, but this, it's like a mezzo. Like, you know, you have a mezzo soprano. It's not just a high lyric soprano. It's more of a deeper tone. And the guitar here, the playing, the instrument sounds a little more broad, the tone of it. It's instead of sitting right on the edge of the tone, it's a little bit underneath like this. An operatic guitar. And then it changed into the wah wah. I know there's a wah wah pedal. I don't know if that's the same thing, but it was just going wah 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 wah, you know. And it changed just in time, because if it would have gone on much longer, it would have been too much. Compositionally, it needed to change, and they changed it just at the right time. Is that all the same guitar though, or did one person start and like they hand it off? I'm not sure. It could have all been the same person. I don't know this person, just getting to know this person in this band, but I think I'm catching on to their style. There's more gravity to it. Even though there are a lot of notes in it, it doesn't fly around as much. It's more ornamental. So it's not so notey and noodly, but at the same time, it's really exciting. And so I'm really interested because it was handed off perfectly from the vocals to the guitar, and then with the guitar, it's going into the brass section here. And I am noticing how they're all taking the melody over. And it's so interesting that instruments can do that when the beginning instrument is the human voice with actual words, and when non-vocal instruments can take that over but still almost seemingly be presenting the words. I really love that. And that's what I'm getting from this. So I'm going to back it up just a tiny bit. We're going to hear the transition. I want to hear that transition. Like, how is it handed off from the vocals to the guitar, from the guitar to the brass? And then are we going to have like a whole medley of everything? Is everything coming back in for the end? Let's find out. I'm going to back it up just a little bit. Let's hear that transition into the brass section again.
Feeling like I ought to sleep. Spinning room is sinking deep. Searching for something to say. Waiting for the break of day. Ooh, 250624.
All right. Wow, that was so much fun. That ending was more than I expected it to be, and also everything that I wanted it to be. That was really great. Okay, so yeah, it was like a medley. Everything took its turn when it came back. The vocals came back just enough to sort of... Actually, did I hear the opening lines? Yeah, I heard the opening line again. Was it last? I'm checking the lyrics. Yeah, kind of. So the first line is waiting for the break of day, and the official last line of verse 3 is waiting for the break of day. But then it repeats 25 or 6 to 4, which, by the way, maybe I figured it out. So is the number 4 referring to time? And it's in the middle of the night. So is that a clever way of saying, I don't know, 25? 25 or 26 to 4? Like 25 or 6 minutes to 4? So like 3:30ish? Am I right? Okay, well, let me know. Let me know if I'm right. I might be right. Am I right? Well, that's just a whole lot of fun. All right, so yeah, everything came back. This little medley. It was really neat. Then what is with those awesome jazz chords at the end? So what I was detecting was a little bit of blues through this. And then, but with the brass, like when we hear brass, we kind of sometimes automatically think more on the jazz side of things. But to me, this was more of a bluesy song. But then the end, I was just like, well, that's just full on jazz chords at the end. I'd love to sit down and do an analysis of those last chords. Maybe that'll be for a future reaction. But what an interesting thing. Oh, in that brass section, it's just so tight. That was the word I was thinking. Oh, this is tight. Like they are just, I know that word has different meanings over generations. Okay, but my meaning of it is, that it's a perfect performance, that the different players, and it's at least two players, right? No, it's got to be more than that because they were doing the chords. I don't know how many players. Two trumpets, two trombones maybe, but they were so in sync with each other. It was just perfection, and all those like da 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 da, like the amount of practice that it takes. And all of the beats were sort of like just relaxed, just behind the beat, and they were all still perfectly together. It was fabulous. Let's see if I can catch just a couple of those things. That like da 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 da. That was so cool, and how the trumpet sort of was hanging on all the way through, and the da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da, da-da-da. So neat. And then also with that driving da-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum. So that's more on the beat, ba-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-dum. But everything else is all about syncopation. So in music, syncopation basically means kind of in between the big beats. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 1 up, ba, ba, ba. Even the main melody, ya bum 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 bum. That's syncopation right there, and it's so well done. That is a definite theme throughout this entire song, and the brass as a section just nail it. It's just perfection, and that's a pretty complex arrangement there. That's really well planned musicianship there. Let's hear it again. Yeah, that's just really great stuff there. And is my ear hearing things? Was the guitar sort of joining in with them? Or maybe was there a saxophone in there too? I don't know. It's so well together that it's actually hard to discern the different tones. My ear is having so much fun with this. All right, so let's talk vocals. So yay, Peter Cetera, from me being a fan of him from my whole one song that I know that he did probably way after this. He's got a really powerful voice, a really unique tone to his voice, and to me that sort of matches the tone of the guitar. And I really find that interesting when I run across that in a band, where some of the singers and players sort of share a tonality throughout the group. I mean, that just means they're going to match really well. But it's not just Peter Cetera. There's a chorus there. So who's singing with him? How many people are in this band? Are the brass players permanent members? So do they play on everything or just a few? And this is just one of them. So many questions, but we'll get them answered. Feel free to leave them in the comments, but we'll get them answered. I may look up a few things on my own too, but going into this kind of not knowing anything is really exciting. And I sort of get to form my own unbiased opinion, so it's kind of fun. But the vocals are also perfection. And some of the chord structures in there are really similar to what the brass, not at the end, not the jazz chord stuff, but again, it's just more sharing of similar tonality throughout the group. The vocal, the chorus, the chords in the chorus sound really similar to the chords in the brass. And so that could cause a problem for the solo guitar, right? But the guitar is sort of connected to the vocal tonality of the lead singer. And so that's sort of what brings all of these flavors together. So now I'm starting to sort of see the magic of this group. And it is unique. Not every group has a brass section in it or vocalists that can also sing that well. Again, how many people are in this band? So let's catch a little bit of the vocals, like I said. Let's see.
waiting for the break of day, searching for something to say, flashing lights against the sky.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna comment on the slides, right? His voice is just clear as a bell. Yeah, he hits a high C, and that's like in the chest sounding voice. He might just sort of have a head voice that matches the chest voice, but whatever he's doing, like the passaggio, going from chest voice to head voice, it's fantastic. What I remember with his singing from the one song I know is that he does a lot of scooping. So, kind of that sort of thing. Like a knight in shining armor from a long time ago. Like that. He just has lots of little scoops, quick scoops up to a note. But then he does the slide. Da, 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 and then we hear the dum in the brass. That's so great.
For something to say, flashing lights against the sky, giving.
I love that. That's so much fun. All right, let's hear some of the chorus. Because it's a chorus.
Sitting cross-legged on the floor, 25 or 6 to 4.
All right, so I'm not sure. I mean, is it different singers or is that just him looped over the top? I don't know. Because then how would they do that live? I don't know. Okay, either way, it's really a pleasure to hear. Okay, so now let's talk guitar solo. So I've mentioned how the tone of the guitar sort of matches Peter Cetera's voice, but I did notice that there were at least 3 different sections of the guitar solo. So the first one, that's when the initial solo begins, but then right around here, I clocked the time and I was like, something changed there. It was really subtle, but I picked up on it. So was that a different musician picking up the solo? And if it was almost seamless. Almost. But I saw the seam. I heard the seam. So if it is a different player, their styles really are similar. This is fun guessing how many people are doing this, because if it's a whole bunch of people, then wow, they really match. And if it's just a few people, then they have many different characteristics and different colors, then they know how to use them to paint this picture. Okay, let's hear the next transition when it goes to that wah 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 sound. It's talking. That guitar is speaking to us. That's so good. Oh, and then in this transition, in the recap, basically, we hear the opening da-da-da-da-dum, 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 da-da-da-da-da. That in itself, going down chromatically like that, is really exciting. Really keeps you engaged. And again, the driving drum beat behind there, I did notice that drumming. That is excellent drumming. Steady as a rock. Okay, but now I like what the guitar does here in this little transition. Basically, it was like, okay, I'm done now, and here's the brass section. Awesome. Okay, So then one more thing, I have to go to the end and hear these awesome chords at the end because they were just fantastic. Here we go. Oh, I love it. Sort of this unresolved chord. This like, da, like what? If I'm correct in my thinking with the meaning of this song, that this person is just sort of sitting there in the middle of the night, kind of lost. The end of that, like how do you end a song that is full of perpetual motion like this? That driving beat all the way through with the bass line. How do you slow that train down, but without resolving it too much? And this is how you throw in some extra colors. And again, whoever's writing the brass arrangement really knows what they're doing. Yeah, but I'll save the analysis of those chords for another day. But then ending unresolved with that high note up there, it just plays the part even more of this song. Okay, that was Chicago, 25 or 6-4. And again, I think it's 25 or 6-4. I think that's what it is. It's gotta be. Because they're talking about in the middle of the night. Okay, so we might have gotten to the meaning of this. We definitely identified some of the themes throughout it, the connecting materials, and I definitely am seeing the genius, the beauty of the musicianship of this band. If this song is really representative of Chicago, then I think I have a clear spot for it in my mind. I'm not branding it with a specific name to the style necessarily. It's just there and it's unique. And would I listen to this? Absolutely. This is going on my playlist. I'll listen to it any day, at any time. You can listen to this when you're feeling down, when you're feeling fine. It's just kind of, you get from it what you need, and it can be involved if you want it to be, but if not, that's okay. It's a universal type song, and it's really enjoyable, so I am a fan. So be sure to put in the comments what your favorite songs by Chicago are. We have been working on getting suggestions and narrowing things down on Patreon and for channel members, and I think this is the beginning of a great adventure with Chicago. All right, and don't forget to do all the things, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. But as always, just remember that you don't have to be perfect. Just be okay and keep listening.